From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page. Now it's off to the show. Take it away, nerds.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome to the Pony Express Pro 4 Off-Road Trucks back here this week at Wild West Raceway Park. And man, oh man, we're going to go do some Jumpty Humpty Doos here tonight. AJ back in the booth with us here once again. AJ, what a wild round we saw last week as we come back for more off-road racing tonight.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to off-road racing, and that was insane. We had a guy go backwards to finish a heat race.
Now, what happens if we all go backwards again tonight?
It'll probably end up in a clip of yours that you're going to put on this wonderful YouTube page.
Yeah, exactly. Surely not. We're not going to end up 2 weeks for a while. But it's been a great year for the Pony Express. We continue to work our way through the season. But I can't say enough how impressed I've been literally all season long with these guys and some of the great races. Well, as we let qualifying wrap up, we'll do that. But before we do that, we're actually going to go talk about the Pony Express points. The reason why I couldn't find them last week, well, everything was on the website, and I dirt and forgot about that. So, I have got to go get the standings pulled up for us, and we'll talk about that. And right now, up front in the lead, it is Mr. Dennis leading the points here as we come into Wild West. So what do you think, Dennis up front leading the way there, AJ? This part of the season, I think he's got a pretty good run going for himself.
Yeah, I would say so, especially how I saw him run last week. He was up towards the front, very competitive, and if he does that the rest of the way, I don't see how pretty much anybody can stop him.
Well, you take a look at where he's at right now. He's up front leading the points. He's in the pole spot for the first race of the evening as well. And that means he has the highest average finish between these point races. Again, you get points for race number 1 and race number 2, both of them being 16-minute races. Now, you take a look at this season there, AJ, and coming up next week, we go to Sonoma Back Raceway. We go back to the asphalt side of things with Sonoma and then the Lime Rock Park. And then we're back on the dirt 3 weeks from now at Bark River. And if we go extend this all the way out to the end of the year, the final race of the year is right back here at Wild West Raceway Park. So what can these guys learn knowing that this is going to be the final race of the season as well here? What is this? About 6 weeks from now.
I would seriously do your research tonight. Know where you are in points, and pretty much do your research, run this racetrack the way you need to, and use this as a practice session if you're already good in points.
Yeah, and I think that's going to become the answer of the evening. Is what do you do the season? Knowing that, right? You know that this end of the season is going to be right back here at Wild West. So, so I think, I agree with you, and I tell you what, Dennis Crosby out front, I think he's got a good shot. Trailing him right behind him in second. It's going to be Chris, Logan, and Zachary Purcell in the top four. Doug Beats in fifth. That top five relatively close. Again, the lead only separated by about 5 points or so, or 4 points, excuse me. Then a little bit of a gap back to second, about 10 points off the leader, is Logan. So Logan needs to have a good run tonight and start building back that shot at a championship here as we get ready for heat number one. Everyone gridding up, or otherwise known as feature number one, as I like to call it. Again, both races is worth the same amount of points, folks. So both of them very much important here for these drivers. And let's get to your starting lineup here. Here is your qualifying order here tonight. Dennis Crosby and Chris there on the front row. Row number 2, Jaron Valley and Zachary Purcell. Row number 3, Doug Beats, Tanner Fontaine. Row number 4 is Logan Sandborg and Mackenzie Johnson. Row number 5, Zachary Nurnberg there with Mark Dillon Jr. And there we go, 10 trucks for this round. Again, 16 minutes for each feature event.
Got a little beating and banging before we even get going. Looked like the last 4 cars in line were bouncing back and off on top of each other.
Well, for you, since you're brand new here to some of this off-road trucks,
Green flag.
Wild Horse here is going to be just like last week. High speed, green is in the air. This is the big first jump that everybody goes across up the hill into one. Everybody,
everybody's trying to jump the
center bird
Jersey barrier.
Wide. The 3 gonna get turned out of shape there, but he'll hang on. Oh wow! Now this right here, this hairpin corner we're in right now, another very hard corner on these guys.
Oh yeah, that's a big draft corner. It looks like.
Yeah,
drift corner.
Yeah, it is. Look at them single file back up the hill. So we'll start back up the hill here. And as we inch up the hill, you'll see Dennis, Chris out front, though. He's gotten the lead away back down the hill. Headed down the front straightaway, long front straightaway here. And here's the big jump where you got to manage everything. You actually have to lift out of the gas right here. If you don't, if you try to stay in the throttle, you can actually blow the motor on the truck there if you stay in the throttle too much.
Actually good to know, because when I used to go to New Hampshire for the NASCAR races a couple years, they had the rallycross guys, and you could hear them tap the brake and let off right before they went off the jump. So I'm happy you actually explained that to me right now.
Yeah, don't ask me how I learned that the hard way. Crosby, points leader, setting in third in heat number 1. He's lost a little bit. We got a car around back here in the corner. That's the 3 of Mr. Sheriff Dillon on the proverbial.
Mark Dillon, not Jeff Dillon.
I said Sheriff Dillon, not Jeff. Dang on it, Sheriff. He's the sheriff.
I'm starting to think that there is a caution out, pal.
Yeah, they're going to be under yellow here as they've got the sheriff up on the berm. I believe that was. No, that wasn't the sheriff. That was Doug Beats. Well, I'm all over the place. Don't ask. That's Beats on the railing there, so he's going to be hung up. Let's go take a look at why.
Yeah, he might. Doug Betts might have to get towed out of that.
Yeah, I think he might have to call
a
Geico. Yeah. Unfortunate for Doug.
He might need to call a Nerds Doing Nerd Things
tow truck. Yeah, there we go.
Taxi truck to come get him.
Just got up on the berm there, never could get off of it. Very easy to do here with 12 minutes left in this first feature. Meanwhile, Chris leads. And we'll get ready to go back at it here as we're still under yellow for this one here tonight. Again, it's Chris up front, Zachary in second, Dennis there in third, Kieran Valley in fourth, Tanner in fifth, Logan in sixth, Mackenzie Johnson right now in seventh, with 12:58 left on the clock in this first of two feature events here tonight. Maybe the Nerds Doing Nerds Things tow truck can get Mr. Betts back out here.
You know, depending on how long it takes, he might be back out before they really get going again. Maybe he'll lose maybe a lap or, you know.
Well, my question is, how old is the Nerds Doing Nerds Things tow truck?
About 2 minutes old.
Okay.
2 minutes.
All right. You just started, huh? Well, we should be getting ready. I think they're waiting. They might be giving him a chance to get back out here, to be honest.
Yeah, because he got stuck in a pretty bad spot. And letting him get taxied. There he goes. He's back on the track now.
Yeah, so they're just going to stay single file here until he gets back to them, right?
Yeah, but this is eating up quite a bit of time. This is eating up a lot of time for Chris. This is what he wants. You know, he's already fast. So, you know, the less time he has to be out front, the better.
Yeah, this is pretty much a gift for him right now. Sal, Dennis right there. And Zach's just like, Chris is just like, yeah, we can let this thing go as long as we need to. Take your time getting around here.
Yeah, let it rain. Oh, wait, wrong sport.
Yeah, warm dirt. I think they'll keep going if it rains.
Yeah, that was the joke. I was making a NASCAR joke.
Oh, ha-ha. Ha-ha. Well, we're going to get ready to go back going green. And again, this is Matt with Extreme Sim TV. And my partner in crime, AJ Capola from the Nerds Doing Nerdy Things. And I think we're about ready to go.
Yeah, we are.
Coming down the hill. They're going to get on that loud pedal. And green is back in the air here in heat number one.
What a hell of a jump Chris had.
Yeah,
he's already up the hill before people already touched the jump. Before they touched the jump.
Look at him all.
But he hits turn one a little wide, giving Zachary a nice.
And here they come towards your hairpin.
Shot.
And you know what Zach can do if he can get to the bottom here in the hairpin? Nope, he's going to leave it open. There's going to be a little contact. That's Dennis Crosby getting into the side of Zachary Purcell. And that's going to open up the gap.
Bumpers.
Yep. That's why these are these off-road trucks, man. You can bump and bang back up the hill. And you can see you're actually going up the side of a mountain here pretty much.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Now,
this is very cool.
You got to watch that corner. You see right there on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, there is a berm there that if you catch it 98% of the time, you're going to go for a flip-de-doo-dah day up there. And, man, I tell you what, Zachary Purcell is really getting through turn one pretty well.
Very well. If he keeps doing that, he might be able to bump Chris right off.
Or maybe just get into the back of Chris here.
Yep.
But Chris starting to open the gap now, 1 second the lead. Jaron Valley sitting here in that fifth now, going for fourth underneath Tanner. Tanner trying to hold him off as they run up the hill once again. Headed for the final corner here, side by side. Back down the hill they come, and they're going to be drag racing it down the hill. And Valley clear, move him to fourth. Meanwhile, up front, how's things going? Ooh, Chris going to give up some time here to Zachary. Again, he gave up almost a half a second up there in turn one. That's the trouble he's having the most trouble with.
And you got Dennis right on Zach's back bumper.
Yeah. I tell you what, if Zach and Dennis can stay close enough through this portion of the racetrack, I think once they get back over here to one again, I think they got a shot at getting under Chris.
Well, it also depends on what kind of line Chris decides to run. If he kicks it out like he did a couple laps ago going into one, they're going to be right underneath him, and he's going to get punted right out of the way.
Yeah. That time by, though, Zach went wide on the final corner. That's going to give Chris the opportunity to get away. But again, he just seems to be having trouble getting the power back down off of turn 1.
Yeah, this isn't that big of a track, but it's got some technical turns that you really need to hit every lap or you're going to get passed. Like as you see for the battle for 4th place right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This place is deceivingly difficult. Tanner just says, get out of my way, Jaron. I'm going back to 4th. And he did just that. But this place is deceiving on how difficult it is to run a fast lap here. Back down the mountain, 1.3 the gap. And again, this is going to be our championship race track here later in the year. So again, like you said early in the broadcast, take notes. Chris way wide again. And that just opens the door for Zach.
Yep. Yeah, you saw him close up a little bit there. You can't take that too wide of a turn, especially if the trucks behind you are...
Oh, no!
Ooh, we got Zachary flipped over.
Oh, he's back on his wheels, but that's going to cost him big.
Oh, he's stuck there. He's losing spots. He's losing a lot of spots.
Yep, everybody's going to get around him. He's going to roll it. He's having trouble with that truck. He may have broke that truck. There we go. Wow. Well, there goes a ton of points for Zach. And we're going to be back rolling now with Chris up front of Dennis right now. But I think if I'm Chris, knowing that this is the championship race later in the year, here at this track, I'm going to do a test session and just run up the hill and practice turn 1 like hundreds of times.
Yeah, I would hope he would come back and watch this broadcast because we are showing him he is in 1st place and he's not making many mistakes, but turn 1, almost every lap, he goes wide.
Yeah. And again, when we come back, same format as all year. There'll be 2 races that night that you're going to have to perform. I think I agree with you. I think he needs to kind of work on turn 1, but right now he's got a pretty good gap over everyone else. Jaron Valley behind Tanner right now with about 5 minutes to go in race number 1.
You're right there. That was a very good turn 1. And it also helped that Dennis flipped it over a couple times. So he's got a huge lead right now. Like, I mean, like, huge lead.
Well, I tell you what. Right now, you look at everybody. Battle here between Logan and McKenzie. Johnson gonna come through. He'll go to 5th. Great job there. McKenzie moves up a spot. Dennis there still running in 4th. Battle for 3rd. Now Tanner coming under fire with Jaron Valley in the top 2. What happened to Dennis there?
He flipped over a couple times in turn 1.
Oh yeah, duh. I remember that one, but didn't really recognize the truck for a moment. So now Tanner is setting in P2, doing a great job behind Chris. But he's going to have a great challenge here from Jaron Valley and the Lucas Oil machine. That Dodge Ram right there on the back bumper. 4 minutes left in tonight's race number 1. Jaron Valley side by side. Remember, he wasn't here last week. He's trying to make up some ground in the point standings underneath Tanner at the moment, and he'll move to 2nd. And remember, at the end of this race, we will invert the field for start of feature number 2.
Yeah, so it's not over after this, everybody. Just like what Matt said, we're going to invert it, and all the mistakes you made in race 1, you have a chance to undo in race 2.
Well, I tell you what, Jaron just about clipped that barrier that we seen Doug Betts get up on earlier. Man, oh man, great racing for 2nd right now.
Yeah, they're really under a blanket right here. One wrong move, and somebody's gonna end up around or into a berm.
Yeah, and that's the hard part here at Wild West Motorsports Park right now. There's not a lot of off room. Ooh, bad
Ooh,
bounce.
like right there.
And you know what that was? That was a bad bounce for Tanner through the rhythm section. Sometimes you hit that rhythm section straight and it just gives you a bad bounce. Chris leads. Chris and his own zip code. Ooh, again.
I thought he was about to flip over once again.
Aaron Valley playing hokey pokey with the K-Rail there. Yeah, here comes Dennis. So Dennis is going to make a pretty good recovery, looks like. He's battling for second. He'll get under Jaron, a little contact, nothing major.
And he'll have the whole shot coming out of the turn, it looks like, heading into the final turn.
Yeah, he'll be coming into the final as long as he gets through this whoop section, okay. Does a good job. Jaron crossover.
Trying to.
Yeah, he can't get the power down. That's a move you really can't make there because, again, you get too sideways. You can't get the power down through the long front straightaway to really pull it off. 2 minutes left on the clock. Jaron makes a mistake. Or, excuse me, Dennis makes a mistake. Jaron's going to take advantage. Into the
yeah, but Dennis has the preferred line going into this turn.
Yeah, and that turns so hard. It's basically a hairpin.
Ooh, but he gives it away, kicking it out too much on exit.
Jaron going to stay with him up through the sweeper. Oh, boy. Side by side for second. Contact again. And coming. Go ahead.
They do not have much time left if they're going to make this.
Jaron gonna hold steady. Nice job. Great racing by both of them.
Hell, if I was Tanner, I'd be licking my chops hoping they're going to wreck each other.
1:15 on the clock. This is the battle for second. Both trucks a little out of shape. More contact. And Coamo. Yep, that was Tanner. So Dennis just got completely nailed by Tanner up there in turn one.
You think that was by accident, like Tanner couldn't get slowed down, or do you think you're going to see some payback either at the end of this race or next race?
I think we're going to see payback. It may have been an accident, but I still think you're going to see payback. And right now that opened it up for Jaron to get away. Now Dennis under fire from Tanner. 35 seconds to go. This upcoming lap will be our last lap of the race, as Chris is up by 11 seconds right now and continuing to lead. Wow, Chris is out of here. Jaron Valley second. Dennis trying to hold off Tanner for third. Logan back here in fifth, side by side with McKenzie. Or, excuse me, that was a lap truck. That is Betts right there. Crossover a lap down. But meanwhile, time's going to run out. White flag will wave for your race leader. Chris going to come through feature number one. He'll come down the hill. Valley in second right now. Dennis in third. Chris down the hill for the final time in feature number one. And give it to Christopher at the stripe. Winner of feature number one of round 5 of this series. Jaron Valley going to come through second. Dennis going to recover to third. Tanner going to recover, I believe, the fourth here as they cross the stripe. So great job for them. So Chris, Jaron Valley, and Dennis Crosby. Top 3 here in feature number 1. How many of those top 3 will we see up there in feature number 2?
Oh, if it's anything like last week, you're most likely going to see Dennis again.
Yeah. Well, folks, we're going to go to warm-up, so we're going to go a step away. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for feature number 2.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page. Now it's off to the show. Take it away, nerds.
all. Go ahead. All right, guys, back here once again as we get ready for feature number 2 tonight. And man, oh man, we're going to invert the field. There's some guys that's going to need to make some points up here in this second feature. Mr. Betts being one of them. Coming in 5th in points, he really needs to recover in feature number 2 there, AJ.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate what happened to him at the beginning of the first feature, but you got to shake it off. You got to get her going. You're going to be starting up front on this heat race, so
yeah,
keep it up there.
And my concern for him is he doesn't have the same amount of track time as everybody else going out that early. And I think that's going to be a little bit of a issue for him, I feel like. So we'll get
he was only a lap down. That incident did happen, but he was only a lap down, so he still ran all the laps minus
true.
1.
Well, true, but I mean, it's definitely not ideal.
No. Getting wrecked and having to get towed is never ideal.
So on the front row for this one, it's going to be Zachary Nuremberg there with Doug Betts right there. Mark there in 3rd. Mark Dillon Jr. is going to start 3rd. Zachary Purcell 4th. Mackenzie Johnson 5th. Logan in 6th. Tanner 7th. Dennis Crosby in 8th. Jaron Valley in 9th. And Chris, your winner in feature 1, will start at the rear of feature 2, which is the way this is all designed to go, and we are ready to do it all over again. Coming to the green this time by.
Look at all the beating and banging before they even get going.
They tend to do that, don't they?
Yeah, they're just trying to warm up the bumpers.
Right. And again, we saw Betts get hung up on that wall and had to tow. You don't want that to happen down in 1 here as we get ready to go green for the final 15-minute race of the night. Here we go. Off a turn 4, that beautiful Pony Express, number 32, leads them down. Green in the air. We're racing. Here we go. 15:55 on the clock. Oh, everybody to turn 1, land rush. Oh, Betts gonna get tagged. Cars up on the K-Well. Everybody makes it. And still contact over the jump. Where is...
I was really nervous about that because everybody was sideways. Oh,
it's a log
jam. We got a car rolled over.
And we got multiple.
2 cars over.
That's going to be Logan on his roof. They're still wrecking. Wow. Logan on his roof down there. That hairpin corner just gets them every time. Meanwhile, the betting man, Mr. Betts, out front, pulling away right now with McKenzie 2nd. Dennis already in 3rd. So Crosby back to where he finished there that first heat. Back to 3rd. Zachary Purcell there in 4th. Fast guys coming. And if I'd
say that worked in Dennis's favor, all that commotion.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is going to be tight. Yeah, McKenzie, you just might want to give the inside up here. You got some fast trucks right there behind you. Oh boy.
Ooh, there he goes. There goes Dennis shooting the inside.
Meanwhile, 4 wide and 1 on the roof down here almost again. Ooh, iRacing acting weird there for a second. Dillon right now in, sliding backwards into 8th here. Logan in 9th. Zachary in 10th. Zachary started on pole, not going well here. Meanwhile, Dennis up to 2nd. Doug Betts. He's like, let me take the bet. Let me get away here. Doug's got an opportunity here to turn this around. Even if he doesn't win this thing, he needs every point he can get.
Yeah, Dennis shoot it wide there.
Man, I'm telling you what, if I'm Doug out front, I'm not pushing the issue right now.
Oh, you had McKenzie completely door slam him going into that turn.
Yeah. Oh no, we got a car stopped over there again. That is going to be Chris is going to fall back. Last race winner kind of in trouble here back in 9th. Now we got action all over the place. Look at McKenzie not giving up on Crosby here.
that might have been the last nail in the coffin right there coming down the front stretch. But, amazing job by Mackenzie, keeping with him.
Meanwhile, Betts pulling away 4.2 seconds of the gap. And what we've seen out of these races, every time we've called them, track position tends to be the thing. Right now, as they fight through, Doug up front. Dennis there in second. Mackenzie in third. Tanner in fourth. Almost contact again. Tanner trying to slide his way in there. Betts though.
Well, if I was Doug, I'd be really happy with seeing all this side by side. Granted, he can't see it, but there's a lot of side by side going on, and he's just pulling away.
Yeah, and you take a look, Dennis, there along the Mackenzie. This is going to work out well for Doug if it stays this way.
He just needs to stay consistent.
Yeah, he just doesn't need to make a boo-boo here. I mean, he's got the perfect setup pretty much right now, I think.
And this is the track. It's very easy to make boo-boos at. We've seen. I can't believe I called it a boo-boo too. But you hit a jump wrong. You land wrong. It's very easy. You clip a berm.
Tanner right there on the back bump, back tailgate of Mackenzie. Mackenzie pulling away. Jaron Dowley sitting right there in fifth. Logan. Zachary Purcell back here. Chris, though, stuck in traffic, has not been able to move his way forward. I'm kind of surprised Chris has not come forward anymore.
Well, Chris had that little incident with the wall earlier. Well,
yeah, but he's been stuck right here with Zachary for a good 2 to 3 laps. And mistaken.
Oh, they all blew turn one there.
Yeah. And that's the corner he had trouble with in the first feature as well. And Betts last time by 4/10 faster than the field. So whatever Betts figured out there in that feature number 1 where he was out there riding around, it's paying off in feature number 2.
Yeah, even if he was by himself, he was still, figuring it out, and it definitely shows, how fast of a truck he has.
Let's go, Doug, Dennis, and Tanner. Right now, those three just about in your top 3 spots. The only one keeping that from happening is Mackenzie, but Mackenzie's going to get hooked, and he's got a car on top of him and boos that over. That's Tanner that ends up on his roof, literally monster trucking over the roof of Mackenzie. Wow, let's take one more look at that. Up the hill into 1. Watch this. Tanner is going to monster truck over top and over of Mackenzie. The things we see in these Pro 4s. I didn't know it was a monster truck there, Tanner. Didn't realize that's what we were driving. Here we go. 9:55 on the board this time by Ford.
That didn't look like Gravedigger.
No, it did not. He might want to go get a Gravedigger paint scheme, though, for next week. After that. Everybody continuing to get it done here around, easy does it. I was about to say, these guys getting after it here. 6th, 5th, 4th, everybody up through here. Of course, Doug is kind of set sail at this point. And what he doesn't want to see is one of those cautions fly. That's what he doesn't want, right? He wants this thing to stay green.
Yeah.
Coming to 9.
Yeah, because his lead would completely disappear. His big lead would completely disappear.
Yeah, it would be gone. You see from the blimp cam as they continue to work their way, one car way wide up against the barriers. And that is going to be Purcell, I do believe, that went way wide. Yep, and we will see as they continue to. No, that was Logan that went that right there in that Pony Express number 199. Betts still leads over Crosby, and right now, last time by, dead even lap time. So Crosby not closing in the way he would like to right now. Were you surprised that Crosby's not closing in on the Betts?
Not really. Dennis is very, very fast, but he also got stuck with a bunch of other trucks for the first couple laps, so that allowed Doug Betts to pull away. But now he's pretty much just holding even with Doug.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's holding even, but we will see. McKenzie doing whatever he can. Valley with Christopher right there as well. Christopher coming back through the pack finally in that Chevrolet machine. Maybe a little too late here, but to the back bumper of Valley, trying to get the best he can. Now on the bright side, if he can pick up Valley and McKenzie here, he will probably have the best finish average out of everybody else here. So that is positive for him.
It's definitely within striking distance.
Or excuse me, he'll be if he goes to third and Dennis stays in second, the average would be better by one spot. Right now, the average out in points would be pretty much about the same, I do believe. And that's quick broadcaster math in my head. Because again,
broadcaster math is never exact until the league posts the points, but it's usually pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, and because that's the great thing of this format is both races mean the same. As we continue to inch our way with 6 minutes to go in feature number 2 of tonight. The 2 features is what we had, 6.7 on the board. Almost up into the wall goes McKenzie, hangs on to it. Betts right now leads by 10 seconds over second. Third, fourth, and fifth right with one another right now. And there it goes, Valley going to make the move for third here underneath McKenzie. McKenzie tries to fight back, headed for the hairpin corner down here.
They're all hairpins.
Well, this is the real big hairpin. This, trust me, when you drive it, it feels more like a hairpin down there. There is Valley back to the bottom, up through the sweeper. Valley clear. Here comes Chris, 3 wide, headed for the whoop section. And right there it is. 3 wide into the bottom.
Amazing 3-wide racing. Well, 3 of them. McKenzie, Valley, and Stover.
Oh, McKenzie on the wall, grabbing it back up, clips gearing a little bit. Oh, fight it. Great save by McKenzie, keeping that truck straight. Wow. 5:20 on the board, 5 minutes to go. 5-minute warning here.
Not saying don't look now, but look who just made it to third place.
Now, don't look now. The 13 machine, maybe a little too late, but up to at least third. Maybe can get to Dennis for second. That's 4 seconds. He would have to hustle. Make up 4 seconds in 4 minutes. You're going to have to move.
He likes to move it, move it.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. That is for sure. 4:40 on the board here for Doug, Dennis, and Chris. Top 3 here tonight.
Ooh! A little bit of a berm hit there.
You gotta watch out. You don't want to break anything in the front end doing that. But meanwhile, what a recovery for Betts here tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. From being wrecked in the first feature to dominating the second feature.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, to be honest. He's going to cross the strike. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes and 3 seconds for Mr. Doug Betts. Up front, Dennis Crosby and Mr. Christopher. That is your top 3. Mackenzie Johnson dropped to 4th. And 5th is Jaron Valley right now in that number 1 truck as well. Having a pretty good run as they head back up towards turn number 1. He'll draw a bead on McKenzie. Oh, nice entry. Just, whoa. Again, that go ahead.
Can finish with your thought, and then I'll throw it to something else.
Well, I tell you what, Valley just about ended up on that K-rail in turn 1.
So with about 3 minutes left, real quick, stick with us for tomorrow as the news car takes over. What'd you say, Michigan? Michigan.
Yep.
So we'll be back on around 8 o'clock then, but stay with us for tonight as we finish this freaking awesome race, because I can't say the actual word I want.
Pony Express Pro 4 trucks. Great racing tonight. Doug Betts looking to pull this one out in feature number 2. Crosby trying to do something, can't really do anything. Stouffer back to third, 3.8. He has gained on Crosby, but not enough, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
Valley and McKenzie going to be battling 4th and 5th back there in their positions as well.
If something does happen with Dennis, Stouffer will be on his butt.
Again, and what's going to be fun here is they battle their way through back towards the final corner of the circuit. Next week they go to Sonoma for 30 minutes of racing altogether. That is going to be interesting when we go to Sonoma Raceway, back on the asphalt.
That's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, a minute 55 on the board. As you see, Valley going to jump underneath McKenzie maybe for that 4th spot here. Valley and McKenzie going to head down the downhill section, headed for, as I like to call it, turn number 2, but the hairpin, as I call it right there, back up, headed for 3. Great racing all evening tonight. Valley going to get under McKenzie, just a little contact.
That's racing contact. Nothing about that. Just hard racing all night. It's been fantastic, both races.
Nothing about the contact, huh, mister? I like to stir the pot. Doug Betts continuing to lead, 1 minute flat on the board. He's just ready for time to go out and get to the end of this thing. Because
he's 12 seconds ahead. You know, if I was him and it was going to be running out right before I hit the line, I might have backed it off a little bit.
Well, he should get the white flag next lap regardless. He'll come across the stripe to take lap number 19. White flag will wave virtually whenever we come up, because we will not get back around the time. So Betts hanging on for one more lap. Chris Stouffer, McKenzie there in 4th. Trying to hold off Jaron Valley. They've got to hold him off about a lap longer, and he'll come home in that 4th spot with a great battle with him and Jaron Valley. 13 seconds left on the board. Betts out front by 12 seconds. Coming back up the hill. We're going to run out of time. White flag's going to wave for race leader Doug Betts as he leads here into the final corner. What a comeback for Doug in feature number 2 tonight. Doug Betts across the stripe this time to get the win in feature number 2. Doug Betts, great job, buddy.
That was an amazing comeback after the first race.
Crosby down the hill, across the stripe. Crosby gonna come home second. So Chris third, and there you go. Crosby, great job here with a that would be a 3rd and a 2nd for Crosby, and a 1st and a 3rd for Chris. Great job. Great job by both those drivers. As we bring this one to a close, well, we know what time it is. We'll try to get in here in just a moment as we wrap up this here tonight. Is it what you expected it to be, buddy?
Oh, absolutely. It was fantastic. Like, I saw the layout of the racetrack and I'm like, what is this? It's so tiny compared to what we saw last week at Crandon. But there was so much action all night. It was fantastic.
Well, again, we got to see a great night of racing, and let's see what do we start? see Mr. Betts in this
No.
So we'll go to Dennis Crosby and grab Mr. Crosby down here. Talk to Mr. Crosby. All right. Hey, Mr. Dennis, Matt down here in the booth. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
All righty, man. Well, how about that? You're going to average a third, and a second here tonight. Great job in both races.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a rough race, especially rolling over that first race.
Yeah, it was crazy racing all night.
Oh yeah, it was. It was definitely hoping the person behind you didn't completely kill you and getting out of there and just trying to run clean laps.
Well, man, did you learn anything knowing that this is going to be the championship finale race?
No, I love these trucks. I've ran this track a bunch, so I mainly spent the time trying to help my other racers that I race with quite a bit, try to learn this track. So hopefully, what we did tonight, we can repeat for the finale.
10-4, man. Well, Dennis, great average on the night, and as we know, with both features paying out the same in points, both are equally important.
Oh, definitely. That was my whole goal today, was to come in here and try to stay in the top three, keep the points, try to stay in the points lead, and roll into next week, which that one I'm a little worried about.
10-4 again next week. You go to Sonoma. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I didn't do real good on the last road course, asphalt road course, so it should definitely be interesting.
All righty, Mr. Dennis, sir. Well, I'm going to get ready to let you go. Congratulations on a great average here tonight, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Dennis Crosby, they're getting a really good average on the evening. And let's see if we can get Mr. Doug down here. Let's get the betting man down here. Mr. Betts, it's Matt in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, hello, how are you?
Good, you, man. But I tell you what, you had a horrible feature number one, but boy, oh boy, you turned it around in feature two.
Yeah, that first one was rough. Seemed like I got caught up in everything.
Yeah, ended up stuck on the rail, had everything happen. When you started on the pole for feature number two, did you think you could keep the truck up there?
Well, I mean, I knew I had a fast truck as long as I could get out of them first two corners. And I got lucky and missed that melee in turn two and just kind of just run my own race after that.
Well, I tell you what, man, another question for you. As you come back down the hill, I guess it's considered turn two down there, that hairpin corner. You think that's the hardest place on the racetrack?
I would say that's probably is the hardest corner because you got so much momentum and it's just it's tight. It's kind of a little bit off cambered a little bit right there.
Yeah, and if you get too close to the inside, you clip that wall and it rolls the truck too. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you flip over so easy right there.
Well,
which we've seen a lot of cars do.
Yeah,
a lot of trucks do.
Yeah, trust me, I've done it quite a bit.
Well, Doug, you picked up the win. I know feature number one didn't go the way you wanted, but this place is the championship finale race. How much of the information you found tonight can you bring it back at the end of the year here?
I honestly think it was a good test. Like we're turning a little bit slower laps than what we do in our own practices. But I think this might be some, a little bit of adjusting on brake bias or something like that to get back down to the speeds that we're used to running.
Well, 10-4, man, congratulations on a great recovery, getting the win in feature number two. And good job sticking through feature one, too, man, keeping that truck out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All righty, Doug. Congrats, man. We'll talk to you next week, man.
All right, appreciate it.
See you, buddy. All right, there we go. And let's see. Who we got left to grab? We got Chris, correct, to grab?
Yeah, he's in the waiting room waiting for us.
All righty, let's get to Chris down here. Hey, Chris, man, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Well, buddy, heat number one went your way. You got the win there. Started in the rear, ended up coming home third in feature number two. Overall, great points tonight for you as well, just like Mr. Crosby. How are you feeling after this one?
Well, I'm happy with third in the feature. I wanted to get the win. You've got to race for all the points you can. So, I got to thank Dennis there in that first race because I felt like we went into the corner side by side and he kind of let me have it. And I was able to get away from everybody. But that second race, having to come up through the field, it was a lot of work and a lot of bumping and banging. And I was trying not to be too aggressive, but at the same time, I wanted to get as many points tonight as I could.
Well, man, you did a great job doing that and a great run in that second feature there. Now, starting at the rear of the field, that adds a whole new aspect of getting going there for race number 2 if you win race 1.
Yeah, it is the, kind of the other side, flip side of that coin there for winning the first race. And it makes for its own challenge for sure, trying to come up through the field and, get another at least podium or top 5 or anything. It's difficult, but it's part of the game, and you gotta roll with it and do the best you can.
10-4, man. Well, again, congratulations. Great run coming home third in heat number 2. Anybody you'd like to thank?
I'll just thank everybody for putting on the league here, and thank you guys for broadcasting. I appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun racing.
10-4, man. We'll see you next week at Sonoma, my man.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Coppola. There we go. 2 races in one night. How you feeling?
Can we do more?
I mean, we could, but we don't have anybody scheduled.
That's true. That's unfortunate. We need to book you like 365 from like noon to like mid. I'm kidding. I don't want to kill you.
You do realize Kim would like murder you if I did that?
I mean, I feel like you would have murdered me first.
Well, true.
But how'd you like the races tonight?
It was fun. It was fun. Both races performed. I appreciate both leagues. They kind of work, especially with the IndyCar working around kind of what I was doing with Pony Express, the Pro 4s, to make sure we got both in on a Monday night. It's a great doubleheader each Monday night for the viewers. Man, think about what we got coming up next week. We got the IndyCars at the Indy Oval, and then back after that will be the Pony Express going to Sonoma. So great racing next week coming up. It's been just a fun night, as always, dude. I appreciate you being up here as well.
I appreciate you letting me be up here, let me plug my show as much as you let me do, which Nerds Doing Nerd Things. We're a podcast about all things nerdy, and we've entered Nerdtober. Friday, we have our Pet Cemetery episode, which you get to hear me sound like a scaredy bitch watching scary movies.
There we go. Now, here's my thing. Here's my thing, folks at home. Even if you're not into nerdy stuff, I get that. But on the previous episode, which I just listened to yesterday, my advice to you is to go watch it. Why? Because you get to hear AJ's very interesting comments about a very interesting thing. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, we're talking about Dumbledore here, and we're talking about an appendage Dumbledore has that, seems to be going all over the place that I commented on, and Sir Matt Johnson has decided to never let me live that down now.
Nope. So go check that out, because we can't talk about it here on YouTube, but you can listen to it there. Guys,
hey, you might not be into nerdy stuff, but we have stuff for everybody. I think we're hilarious. Matt thinks we're funny, so that makes me feel better. But check us out. We're a podcast. We're pretty much everywhere podcasts are available. Just type in Nerds Doing Nerd Things.
Well, with that being said, folks, until next time, everyone stay safe. Have a great night. And remember, Nerds Doing Nerds Things. Go laugh with AJ. Until then, have a great night, everybody.